It's time for the sports. My name is Edmond Nyabola. Now, Friday's Supreme Court ruling ordering for fresh presidential elections has already sent shockwaves within the sports fraternity. Kenya's hopes of hosting the CHAN 2018 now hung in the balance after the Confederation of African Football showed signs of having second thoughts by cancelling a planned inspection visit. CAF's second vice president was in the country to assess the situation, and as Celestino Lilo now reports, he sought the assurance of the Football Kenya Federation and the government.
The uncertainty brought about by the Supreme Court's order for fresh elections has thrown the local sporting fraternity into panic, with fears that the local calendar may be affected. Already, the Confederation of African Football has cancelled a CHAN 2018 inspection visit that had been scheduled for Thursday this week, instead sending Vice President Omar Selemani to, quote, assess the political and security situation in the country. Close quotes.
CAF is concerned about the security situation coming because now the elections will be done maybe after 60 days, and they are concerned that about security basically of the teams coming in and the fans. And so they are here on a fact-finding mission, find out what to expect.
Sports Kenya and the local organizing committee had commissioned construction across the 5 stadia in anticipation of the inspection, which was to begin in 4 days. Mudomi, however, says that construction work across the venues will continue undeterred since contractors are already on site.
I really don't see it stopping the work going on, and that is something that that obviously we are happy about because work has commenced. It's just these things tend to make people a bit jittery.
But then there's also the issue of match venues. The order for elections means that the Kenyan Premier League clubs will once again be forced to share the available stadia with political rallies, a situation that may cause the top-tier league season to extend past November. There's also the Sekafa Senior Challenge Cup that is scheduled to take place in November this year, but is now likely to be shelved or postponed if the dates happen to coincide with the new election day.
They are still going to confirm the exact time, but already we are going to participate in Sekafa.
CHAN 2018 to be or not to be? That is the main question and kernel of discussion as Kenya continues in that very excruciating fight to retain the faith of African football chiefs with regards to hosting the African Nations Championship. Football Kenya Federation remains optimistic that the country will retain the hosting rights, but it remains to be seen how successful they and the entire sporting world will be in wading through the uncertainties that have been brought about by the recent Supreme Court ruling. Celestino Lilo, NTV.
Now, equality, equity and corporate support were the key issues pointed out during the inaugural Women, Sports and Development Conference that took place in Nairobi today. The symposium, the first of its kind in Kenya, was organized by the Swiss-based Interdisciplinary Center for Gender Studies, ICFG, in conjunction with the Football Kenya Federation to deliberate on developing women's sports. Key stakeholders, including ex-female footballers and other administrators, attended the symposium, whose aim was to generate ideas that will be used to drive women's sports forward. Sports personalities around the world have recently been actively involved in championing for equal treatment of the women's game.
It was excellent. A lot of people contributed, and there's a need and there's a real dynamic at the moment in the country for further developing women in sports, on athletes, players' position, and management, in media. And I think the time is now to start more on this.
We've shared so many ideas, and if we keep it together going as women in sports, I think it's a good direction.
Now, the Boxing Association of Kenya says there is need to expose Kenyan boxers more if they are to perform better in international championships such as the just concluded IBA World Boxing Championships in Germany. The hit squad returned home today after an underwhelming performance in Hamburg. All 3 Kenyan boxers, that is Africa lightweight champion Nick Okoth and bronze medalists Shafi Bakari in light flyweight and John Chalo in middleweight, were eliminated in the preliminary round of the championship. It was a difficult outing for the African boxers in general, as the continent only managed a bronze medal. BAK President John Kameta is now proposing an inter-country championship to expose the boxers with compatriots outside of the country instead of waiting for major championships to select a team. Further afield, and Diego Costa has been omitted from Chelsea's UEFA Champions League squad for the new season, despite being drafted into the Premier League squad at the close of the transfer window. A dispute with club manager Antonio Conte saw Costa stay away from the club, opting to travel to his native country of Brazil. Costa said he wanted to rejoin Atletico Madrid after being informed by Conte that he was no longer part of the club's plans. Meanwhile, Zlatan Ibrahimovic has been included in Manchester United's squad for the Champions League in spite of the fact that he might not be available until December due to injury. The 35-year-old former Sweden striker made 46 appearances and scored 28 goals for United last season and signed a fresh one-year contract in August. Apologies to Arsenal fans for those bad memories. My name is Edmond Nyabola. That's the Sports Tonight, and back to Gladys and Trevor.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Edmond Nyabola, for the sports news. That's all for now from the news desk. We thank you for your company, and a special thank you for David Agondoy being our sign language interpreter. My name is Gladys Gashanja. Have a good night.
I'm Trevor Mbija. Always a pleasure having you with us. In case you're wondering why we keep laughing, we have very witty directors in our ears, so sometimes they say hilarious things.